Well, everyone, I was going to service the motorhome and change the oil and such, but it looks a bit damp for that sort of malarkey, so we are yet again back to the airbrush project. Well, I've selected a design for the other side, and I'm going to go for this sort of shushing sort of lady, and I think she'll fit on there quite well. Yeah, so she'll go on there somewhere like that, really. So I think the first thing I want to do is get this edge defined, and to do that I'm going to cut out actually the whole of that part of the image and just get a really light coating of, well, probably not white, but probably a grey colour on there, and I'll obviously lay it a little bit heavier on this edge, but it really needs hardly any at all elsewhere, just enough to give me that basic shape, really. So now I'm going to want to just position that in roughly the right sort of place there and hold it on with the magnets. Well, the next thing to do is to slip the graphite paper behind there and pop this in and just go around with the cocktail stick and mark in the various defined points. So hopefully you can see where I've got those markings in there. Now a lot of this will go right back into black anyway, but this is just a handy guide to get me in roughly the right place for stuff. Now I've got my reference up nice and close, and I'm just going to go in and keep highlighting these lighter areas. I'm going to start with the lighter areas first on this one, and get them in where they need to be as a bit of a starting point. Right, now I'm just going to come in with some of these fuzzier black shadows. Maybe try and get something in the eye area as well. it's not really in the reference, but I am going to give the lips just a touch of red, just because I can. Right, now I just want to do something with this eye, get this eye a bit sharper. So I'm going to cut out this white part of the eye and possibly a little tiny bit there, and we'll see if we can sharpen that up and get that looking a bit more realistic. Now there's a selection of my paintings available on my Etsy shop. Just search in Etsy for Ttxela Airbrush. I'll put a link in the description below. Well, that's it for the moment, I think. It's getting quite late, so I'm going to pack up and continue with this another time. Well, it's the following evening now, and I've spent most of the day today at my desk and not really moved from there. So I've come out to get a little bit of fresh air and exercise. Then I'm going to head back and carry on with this airbrush painting. Well, we're back. Apologies if there's a little bit of background noise. I've got the washing machine going, but let's see what we've got to do next. I think the next thing to do is going to be to bring in these fingers. Now, I'm not entirely sure the best way to do this. I think what I might do is maybe do bit of a overall outline of the hand first, I think. So I'm going to cut out the whole thing and make much the same as we did with the face to start off with, really. I'm making this up as I go along, can you tell? Yeah, that's what I'm going to do anyway. Let's try that, see how we get on. Right, I actually changed my mind while I was doing that, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a finger at a time, weirdly, but I'm thinking that might work out better. Anyhow, let's see how it goes. Right, now I am just going to do the rest of the hand, I think. Now spraying through this course is going to give us way too crisp a shape, but it'll give us the positioning of everything, and then we can go in and blur everything out and go back in with the darkness and the black where necessary to tone it all down a bit, and then we can add in the very white highlights where they're needed. Now, I've shown this to Nikki and she's suggested that she's a bit too silvery. I was going to kind of leave her like that so she looked a bit witchy, but Nikki says she thinks it'd be better with a little bit of colour in her. So I'm just going to go over with that pinky colour and just touch in just the very sort of slight hint of pinkiness where it's necessary. Well, there we go. I think that's possibly it for the airbrushing on this one. It just needs to be left to harden up for a little while and then have some clear coat applied. Well, that's all for now. If you enjoyed it, press like. Subscribe if you want to see some more, and ring the bell to be notified when we upload something new.